So I was married for 19 years. It's like I at 60 years old, or even in my 50s, I don't have time to be doing a ton of soul ties. Like, it bothers me that I've been, alone for 7 years with, like waiting on someone to realize that, I'm a gold mine and you're affecting somebody's grandmother, somebody's sister, mom.
Woman divorces her husband and then cries and begs online for some men to date her. Yikes. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. Let's get into it.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
TikTok. Hey, I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say something because, I have to say something. So I've been single now since my divorce 7 years ago. And I'm just so troubled because, the dating world, I'm 60 years old, just turned 60 on March 11th.
Oh, wow.
60 years old, and all that I've desired in the last 7 years is just somebody to love, somebody that wants to be loved, somebody that is looking for their ride or die, and I keep running into people that, men that are portraying to be something that they're not, with hopes to getting, in between the love zone. And it's like, I at 60 years old, or even in my 50s, I don't have time to be doing a ton of soul ties. I just don't. Numbers mean everything to me, especially knowing how many people that I've been with. So I was married for 19 years, or at least with the idiot for 19 years. But anyway, I don't want to get beside the point. I'm heartbroken because I feel like the way of the world today is like people don't really care. They're out here just lying, manipulating, just doing anything, shooting their shot. I'm so tired of hearing that expression, shooting their shot. Anyway.
The guys who cared were from 40 years ago. The guys who cared was your husband that you were with for 19 years. Those are the guys who cared. This is always astonishing to me. The older women get, they put their standards up higher and higher. And then inevitably, they are just disappointed with the results they're getting. But it's because their standards are too high for what their current situation is. It's like, dude, and then it puts people like me in a situation, like the commentary kind of style channels. It puts me in a situation where now I look like the bad guy, but I'm just telling you reality. And the reality is, you're 60 years old. Like, why do you assume these guys have to put in so much effort? Why? Oh, he should be understanding of my past. I've had an extensive past. You know that. I'm not looking for an emotional connection. I need somebody that's not going to be fake with me. Like, whoa, all of these other 60-year-old guys that you're probably dating, they have a plenty of options. Why would they spend time with someone like this, where they have like these infinite standards? It's like you're an older single mom with baggage, but you expect Prince Charming to walk into your life and make up for all of your past mistakes with your self-described ex-loser husband. She literally called him a loser.
So I was married for 19 years, or at least with the idiot for 19 years.
Called him an idiot. Okay, really not much better.
I need for men to understand that, to sit there and lie and say that you're something or somebody that you're not, you're setting these women up for failure. And if you know God, like, you don't just get to hurt somebody, say I'm sorry, and then repent. You will be held accountable. It's just not right. I mean, you're sending women out into the community, back to work, back home. These are women that, if you can imagine, you're affecting somebody's grandmother, somebody's sister, mom, daughter. These are women that literally, there's a lot of us out here looking for love and that want to be loved. But then there's a lot of women out here hustling to make that money. God bless them. Let them do as they do. But when people tell you, or a woman says they've been saving themselves for somebody special, don't invade in their peace. Because once you disturb someone's peace, then they got to start back over with the healing process. And it just breaks my heart that this is the world we live in.
You guys, she's just an innocent woman at 60 years old with an entire life behind her, with a huge body count. Yeah, she's just an innocent woman. She's done nothing wrong ever. So she's like infantilizing herself. Like, truly, she's living in a delusion. She's still in the mind space like she is in her 20s. Like, she's able to select from this high value pool of guys. And that's what a lot of women do not realize. Like, you have been in a relationship, what did she say, 19 years? She was married for 19 years, divorced for 7. And now it's like, it's 26 years later. So before, when she was 34, at least she had some options still. Nothing compared to the early 20s, but at 34, you still have some options. But then, since you decided to get rid of that relationship that you've been working on for 19 years, now you're going back out into the dating market with a lower value than before. And dude, I don't even like saying it like that, but that is the truth. That's the reality. So of course you can't expect to have these crazy results where you're going to find the Prince Charming of your dreams when your value has dropped and you have more baggage, you're older, all this stuff. You can't expect to get more than you did in your past. You can't, because you're not offering more.
Like, social media has taken over. Like, people don't think for themselves anymore. They see something nice and they want to go get it. And they'll lie and say whatever it is that they can say to try to get this accomplished. It's not right. It hurts me. Like, it bothers me that I've been, alone for 7 years with, like waiting on someone to realize that, I'm a gold mine. But instead, they see the physical. I understand that I put myself out there in bikinis, this, that, and the other. I'm not looking for anybody on social media. Get that.
60.
But even if I were, there's still a line of respect. I don't even care if the woman is shaking her ass, in which I don't do. I don't have anything negative for how women roll. But what I do have to say that is negative, stop assuming that a woman's confidence means that she wants your...
At 60 years old, you're still posting bikini pictures on social media. You're like trying to become a TikTok influencer or something like this with this whole TikTok account. All of these guys that she's more than likely going after, they're much older gentlemen. If she's 60, she's probably going after the 60-year-olds, maybe even the 70-year-olds, something like that. These guys are seasoned. They've been through the ringer. They've had tons of past experiences. They know the game. So they see a woman like this that advertises her body out there for the public to see at an advanced age of 60. That's insane that you're still doing that at 60. The men see that and they go, oh, well, this is obviously not a woman you take seriously. This is obviously a woman that, maybe a fun week and then I can move on to the next Grammy. And social media is another huge key factor in this whole thing, because 26 years ago, when she got into a relationship, social media was not a thing. It just wasn't. What was that, 1999? She met her husband naturally, more than likely. And social media has completely changed. Completely. So now these older women that have been married for decades, then they get divorced and get back out into the dating market, they go into this like, it is like a Mad Max world, completely different situation than it was in her past.
It's not it. A woman's confidence, maybe she woke up feeling like, hey, I'm sexy this morning. I want to present that. And let her be. Just compliment her and keep it moving. That shooting the shot, you probably won't get a shot, but be respectful. That's what I love about TikTok.
See, they are letting you be. They are letting you be in your own social media TikTok world that you want to live. He doesn't want any part of it, and that's why they're not sticking around. Oh boy, this is a tough one, man. Dude.
Now on TikTok, I get the utmost respect, and I value y'all. I'm so choked up. But on Facebook, I get disrespected, I get talked down to, I get put down. I have people that stalk me, I have people that say negative things, I have people that simply will follow me, study me, and then, try to go in for the kill. It's just all disheartening. Like, are we living in this world today? Have we forgotten God? Don't forget God.
Man, this one's brutal. Just get off social media. Why are you on social media? Bro, now it's just starting to get sad, bro. Honestly. I understand why she's even participating in all of this. If you don't like the commentary, you don't like people, talking about your personal life, then why are you putting it out there?
I live every day to make sure I'm doing everything it takes to make him proud of me. I have less days in front of me than I do behind me. Can we just be respectful? That's all I ask. Stop playing games, please. Just be respectful.
How can you be in the streets at the age of 60? Yeah, dude. Yikes. When I hear a woman bashing her ex, red flag, red flag, red flag. Yeah, big one. I speak for all men when I say, we do not care. Should have stayed with husband. What is that old song where they said, love is a battlefield? You guys remember that? And that is super true. You can't shame someone into being in a relationship with you. You can't force other people to pity the situation that you're in and get them to be in a relationship with you. The dating world is brutal, and it's more brutal than ever. You can't expect some people to just feel a little bit bad and then make up for all of your past mistakes. This is just the brutal reality. Married to an idiot for 19 years, re-enters the dating marketplace and desires to shame men into taking her seriously. They act like men owe them something because they want something from these men. Yeah, dude, exactly. This woman is exactly why men are not getting married. Woke up one morning after being married for 19 years, and all of a sudden your husband is an idiot and you divorced him. Now she's out here looking to replace the husband she already had. I have zero remorse. Yeah, bro, exactly. If you leave your 20-year marriage at the age of 53, on some level, you should be mentally prepared to spend the rest of your life single and or alone. And that is the biggest thing. She did this to herself. There is no one else to blame. She put herself in this situation, and now she expects some other beta bob to just come along and make up for all of her mistakes. Why would he do that? It's a big ol' yikes, dude.
Truth of the matter is that, am I good at being independent? Yes. Do I want to be? No. I just think of all the times that I'm like building furniture and providing for myself and doing all of this, and like, that's great and I love it. She's capable, she can, she's willing, and she can. But do I want to? No. I don't want to open any more doors on my own. I don't want to hang any more TVs on my own. Can I? Yes, and I will if I must. But do I want to? I want a tall, handsome man to open my doors for me. I want a handsome man to hang my TVs. I want a handsome man to help me with my taxes because I am barely hanging on trying to do this whole independence by myself as a woman. I can't.
The thing is, man, it's like they did all this stuff to like prove a point. They wanted to show, oh yes, we're as good as any man. We can be strong, independent. We don't need no man. That's like the whole point of feminism, basically. But the thing is, now they use that as like a potential attraction trigger for men, or what they think is an attraction trigger for men. They say, oh, I'm so strong, independent. Don't you guys like that? Don't you guys, doesn't that make me more attractive to you guys? The answer is no, first of all. I've never heard a single man in human history say, oh yeah, I want a strong, independent boss babe. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh yeah, the more degrees, the better. The more jobs, the better. And it's interesting with women like this, where they say, no, I don't want to be strong, independent anymore. Someone just come do this stuff for me. Is that it's still so close to being a feminine trait. It's so close. Instead of saying, no, I don't want to be a strong, independent boss baby anymore, start marketing yourself like the damsel in distress. That plays into men's like saver schema, because men love being that knight in shining armor that comes in to save the damsel in distress. They love it. If she just played that up like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to install a TV. Oh, I'm such a weak woman. I could really use a nice strong man. Just flip it around. Just flip it around. Turn it into a positive trait. Turn it into a feminine trait that would activate his masculinity. But no, it's always to the negative. Oh, de boy.
I think my son finally has a girlfriend. He just made me pull over so he can talk to someone. Look at this. Who is he talking to? Oh, he couldn't talk to her in the car. Oh, that's so adorable.
That ain't no girlfriend. That ain't no girlfriend. Sorry, Granny.
So I got a question. If you bring a bottle, like a bottle of wine, a bottle of liquor, whatever, to somebody else's house for whatever, and it's time to go, but it's still some liquor, it's still some left in the bottle, you gonna grab your bottle, or you gonna leave it at their house? I just want to see something.
You bought the bottle for the house. I mean, is that even a question?
To me, this is very contextual. Like, if it's just you and a few of your buddies, you know, everybody there just grabs their own bottle, they bring a 6-pack or something like that, then it's fine to just take what you brought. But if you go to like a house party, you're there with your girlfriend, everybody's there with, you know, their couples and all that kind of stuff, then you would leave that there, because they are providing a service to you, okay? They have opened up their home to you. They have given you food, more than likely. They've probably maybe gotten you pizza or something like that. You leaving the extra alcohol is the payment, in a way. That's the way you can look at it.
I am moving in with my partner who you met. I'm so excited. How should I approach talking about rent with him?
Nat, I don't know if you're going to like my answer, because my assumption is that you would be the breadwinner in the relationship. In a loving relationship, things don't need to be equal. They need to be equitable. You and I are dating. We find a $4,000 a month place. You pay $2,000, I pay $2,000. That's equal. It's not equitable. If one of us makes a lot more money, that person should take on essentially a prorated portion of that rent versus how much the other person's making, because then it's a commensurate burden on your entire financial picture. Because if I'm making $60,000 a year and you're making $600,000 a year, I pay $2,000 in rent and you pay $2,000 in rent. I have nothing left over, and you're still going out for omakase on the weekends.
Completely agree.
Here's the thing. It really depends. What type of relationship do you want to have? Do you want to have an equal relationship where both of you are chipping in 50-50 for everything? Do you want a more traditional relationship? Do you want an equitable relationship? So for me, I want a traditional relationship, and I have a traditional relationship. So to reinforce those traditional boundaries within our relationship, I pay for everything. That's just what I do. And if you want a traditional relationship, you should try your best to pay for everything, because it heightens those roles even more. It puts her into her hyper femininity and it puts you into your hyper masculinity, having very well defined gender roles. But here's the thing, even on top of that, personally, I wouldn't really care how much money my woman was making at all. I don't care if she's making 10K a year. I don't care if she's making 100 grand a year. I just don't really care. If anything, for me personally, I see a woman that makes a lot of money almost as a red flag, honestly, because a lot of the times with women that make a lot of money, they acquire all of these boss babe masculine traits, which are inherently unattractive to me. So personally, I don't think I would even find myself in a situation like this to begin with, but that's how I would deal with it.
Let's say I wanted to take you all in Miami. Okay. How much do you expect me to spend on you?
Okay, on an ideal dinner, probably like 300, 350.
What do I get in return?
Company, a good laugh, time with me. I don't know.
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200, a minimum, and that's like being nice.
And what does a man get in return for that?
Anywhere from 300 to 800, maybe. Jumpstart, yeah.
$800 on a first date?
Yeah.
Has it happened before?
Yeah.
So this guy's The Desirable Truth, that's his channel name, and he films all of his stuff in Miami. So these are all Miami girls that are speaking. And one thing I can understand is the fact that a date would be more expensive, definitely would be more expensive than if you were dating in like a small town. I bet the average dinner cost for 2 people in Miami is probably $75 minimum for the 2 people. So I understand if it's a little bit more expensive, but dude, these numbers are insane. $300. Oh yeah, just so you can sit next to a woman. Oh yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
I don't expect him to spend, or I go half.
So you go Dutch with him?
Yeah, definitely.
I got asked an interesting question the other day. I was asked, why is it that you don't ever post selfies of just yourself on Facebook? It's always of you and your kid, of all 3 of you together, or you and your husband. Why don't you ever just post one by yourself? I have everything I need right here at home. If I need attention, or if I need somebody to tell me I look pretty, I'm going to send that selfie to my husband. Seek that attention from your husband, not the internet.
But the thing is, why is she videoing herself right there, just making that video, making that TikTok? But this is one thing, it brings up such an important point. It brings up the fact that a lot of these traditional feminine women, they're not even on social media. They don't post anything for social media. They care about the attention and validation from their man and from their family. They don't give a shit about what the internet thinks of them. They're just living a happy life. It's the same with my girl. She doesn't even have social media. She doesn't post at all. And I do think that's one thing that actually makes it more difficult. They hardly have any other women they can look at and say, oh yeah, that is a good role model of a traditional housewifey that I want to be like. Because all of the real ones aren't on the internet. They're on the internet, but they're just not on social media. They're not on TV shows. They're not on podcasts. They're not doing any of this.
I want to take you out to coffee for a first date. They don't like you.
Oh, here we are on this subject again. Why would he ask her out on a date in the first place if he didn't actually like her? The logic isn't working here.
They just want to see if you'll be there so they can come back and pick you up and play with you whenever they want.
A first date is basically just an interview to see if 2 people are compatible. Why throw a lot of money around just for that? That doesn't make any sense.
They want to be your pen pal. They want to reach out to you when they're feeling like they need some type of emotional connection and they need to remind themselves that they're still alive, but they don't actually want to take you seriously. They don't want to take you anywhere.
Something to consider. If one individual keeps encountering the same problem over and over again with different people, maybe the problem isn't the people. Maybe it's the common denominator.
I want to see you in pants with some structural integrity. I don't want to see you in your comfies. That's not for you.
This is one of my most difficult questions so far. I usually lean much more towards fashion than comfort. You should look like this as often as possible, and this for when you're alone, really. But we are talking about airplanes. Pants can change a lot in this environment. Basically, you're balancing how bad your body feels and how bad it is to look at you, and there's got to be some kind of formula that results in people being pretty enough and feeling good enough that we're maximizing how nice life is.
This is something I've recently been doing, is upping my fashion game. You guys might have noticed, but I've been wearing more like collars and older adult pieces of clothing, you know? I just realized, like, I'm turning 30 soon, man. And I'm just pretty tired of, you know, dressing like a teenager. It's time to just up the game. And it really does up the game. People take you more seriously. Like, they give you a second look a lot more often. One of the things I thought for a long time, that if you are dressing well, you're sacrificing comfort. And that's just, it's just straight up not true. It's really not. Like, this is just a light sweater from Abercrombie & Fitch. Super comfortable, soft, it's very nice. Upgrades your style, you look better, people take you seriously, people respect you more because of it as well. But yeah, that's one thing I've been doing recently on my own, you know, personal path of progress. Because I used to dress more like, I would just dress casual everywhere I was going. You know, it'd be just like jeans and a hoodie, jeans and a t-shirt, maybe a jacket or something like that. Just very chill, casual. But now I'm going for more of this like business casual kind of vibe. And it really does. It affects how you see yourself as well. You know, you can go look in the mirror, you see yourself all dressed up nicely. You're like, damn, this is somebody I can take seriously. So yeah, I'd totally recommend it, man. Up your fashion game.
From other countries are well-educated, classy, elegant, very feminine, and they understand how to give and take in relationships. And then they criticize their looks when they're not in the best shape themselves. Want a good man, but they're tired of our BS. So much, in fact, that they're traveling overseas just to find a wife that respects them.
Yeah, man, that's so true. That's what I tell you guys to do as well. Just go where the wives are. That's where I think a lot of the dating frustration in the West comes from, is that a lot of the Western American guys, they're dating women that are not wifey material. They're not. Like, they are the typical party girl, boss babe 304. And what they want is her to be a wifey. But she is just not. She is not a wifey designation. That's the thing. So really, most of the dating frustration I see from guys in the West is that they are mistaking these women for wives when they are just not wives. They're just your average 304. They're not long-term material at all. So they are designating the wrong kind of women as wives. If you want to just date for fun, yeah, the West and America, yeah, generally it's good for that. But if you want something more long-term with a good feminine woman that's traditional, that's going to treat you like a man, then go overseas and find a woman that is more along the lines of a wifey material. That is the biggest thing. Men just don't know how to identify what the wifey material is.
The fact that you practice rotational dating, it got you more picky. It's like going to an ice cream shop. Say if you got 2 flavors at the ice cream shop, chocolate and vanilla, it's gonna be an easy choice. But if you go to an ice cream shop and there's multiple choices and you want to try out the cookies and cream, the cookie dough, the rainbow flavors, you want to try all the flavors. Now you got a taste for everything. When you're dating multiple, you start comparing back from when you tasted rainbow, cookies and cream, cookie dough. So it makes it harder for you to be able to settle down in a true relationship because you've experienced so much. You wouldn't have to date a lot if you had discernment.
Yeah, that is just the truth. Experience builds men, but experience tears down women. It's just the world we live in, man. That's the way we were created.
You will go out here and let it f them raw without putting no ring on it, but you draw the line and making a sandwich for a man. What in the f is going on? The bar is in hell right now. Like, you draw the line at cleaning up and keeping the house clean. Oh, hell no. I take pride in doing my womanly duties. I feel like a man should never have to tell me to do certain that I just already should naturally be doing. Like, that's an embarrassment. Like, if a man got to tell me to clean up, I should feel embarrassed, correct?
My biggest thing was I made a decision when I was in college. I was like, I'm going to save myself for marriage. Because I was like, body, soul, and spirit, Lord, I'm yours. And one day I'm going to look in the face of my spouse. And I said this in our vows. I looked at Grant and I said, now, body, soul, and spirit, I'm yours. You have all of me. You have literally all of me.
Because really, that is all that men want, to be honest. And this is, again, where a lot of the dating frustration comes from. Because most of the women that men are dating, they don't actually belong to that man. They belong to 50 other guys. You basically have a timeshare with this woman when you want to be a homeowner. You want that home to be yours. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. I'll see you later.